It is one of those Missoula restaurants that's the backbone of the dining community. It's the kind of place you take your out-of-state friends for an authentic Missoula experience. But right now, it's for sale, and the future of this iconic eatery depends on who buys it. Shack Restaurant is famous for its great food, from locally sourced huckleberry pancakes and chicken in the rough to its awesome coffee. It's a place for a casual lunch or to celebrate something big. But after 43 years, owners Bill Warden and Robin Hamilton decided it's time to sell.
We just put it up for sale, and I will be 71 this year, and my partner is 73. So we have decided that's probably a long enough run, and it's time to pass it to another generation and start enjoying some of the things you can do when you're not working every day.
The Shack itself first opened back in 1949 on a different location on Front Street. Back then, World War II veteran Axel Hansen decided Missoula needed a place where people could get some fried chicken and a beer. It's a concept that caught on.
Well, it's certainly a local spot, and a lot of people are fond of local places that aren't chain restaurants, 24-hour breakfast places. So this has always been pretty popular as an option for locals to particularly bring out-of-town guests, family members. We've got a lot of that kind of clientele.
The current building on Main Street was once the Trammell Damaris Auto Complex. Bill and Robin wanted to create a place that had a vintage feel, so they started searching the state.
This bar, for instance, is out of Fort Benton. It came up on a steamboat from St. Louis in 1882 and was the main bar in the Grand Union Hotel. It's nice to have some places in Missoula that are from the past, that have bits of the past. There's so little of that left, as we're all getting so modernized, that I like the idea of having something that speaks of Montana the way that it was 50 years ago, 60, 70, 80 years ago.
And the stories people tell him are part of the living history of this place.
I hear lots of stories from people that had kids that worked here, and I run into lots of people whose children have worked here over the years, or even grandchildren. The fellow who started the place, Axel Hansen, still has grandchildren in the area, and several of them have come in and wondered if there was a possibility of getting a summer job.
He hopes whoever buys the Shack will buy it whole and continue running the restaurant for both the customers and for those longtime employees. He knows that could be a challenge, but remains optimistic.
We'll just see what happens. It's an old-fashioned kind of restaurant, so it's not really what people are doing so much of anymore.
Bill Warden says the Shack employs anywhere from 35 to 45 people, depending on the time of year. To be clear, he is open for business. It's just for sale, and he says his realtor expects it to take 6 months to a year for the Shack to sell.